no one else has actually even gone near enough to that. And we're really very proud to know that he's a Jamaican and he's a very honored figure. And I'm really trying to look now as to the youthful days of Bob Marley, growing up with other kids. Did you find anything special about him amongst other kids in his daily, like, lifestyle?
Well, you know, Bob was always loving with his friends, them, you know. He always have his friends, them that he stick to, go to school with them. And one, they call him gray bearded now because he's gray up now, but in those days they were little boys going to school together and they used to be close friends. And then afterward, Bunny came in. You have, we used to call him Pilipi at that time.
Old times.
Yes, and you know, Bob always have friends, and you know, up and down, and then because he was so lively, a lot of other children always cling to him, and you know, they play together, and so on and so forth. You know, he was good with his friends.
Which school was he attending at that time?
Stepney School, the Stepney Elementary.
Stepney Elementary?
That's where he used to go to school.
And from there you move on to Kingston?
Yes, he left. His father wanted him to go to school in Kingston, so, you know, he sent for him to attend school there. And it's a long story. He was there, and then he came back home. And
at what age did he leave? Can you remember?
When he left, he was going on around 5 at the time, yes, because he was little over 4. And then he was going on 5 when his father took him. And then when I went, you know, after I was there for a time, and yes, and I couldn't find him. You see, he hid him from me now, and I didn't know, but where he was, because he just keep on telling me where he's gone to St. Thomas at school, and he's in different places and so on. So I have to just, as a little country girl, you know, I just stay and wait. And then one day, he saw somebody who came from the country who he knows well and I know well, and he said, ask my mother, have you seen my mother? She told me, and she said yes. And that was when he said to tell her where I am and give her, you know, the address, which she never quite remembered the address, but she remembered the name of the street, which was Haywood Street. And then I just packed my kit and I took my bus and I went straight, and couldn't find any number, but still somebody advised me that Haywood Street is a short street, so just walk and make inquiry, and that was what I did. And there, the first stop that I made, I saw the man sitting by the sidewalk, and I asked him, I said, do you know a little young man around here by the name of Robert? And he said, you mean Marley? And I said, yes. And he said, he's looking behind him. He was right here playing a while ago. And then by the time we look out, he just run from around the corner, playing, ramping with his friends, them as usual. And then when I called him and he saw me, and he came and ooh, and that was it. That was it.
So it took you a couple of years to find him again?
Yes, it wasn't quite 2 years, you know, but it looked like ages. It looked like ages.
I get the impression, though, that you were very close to Bob as a mother. I get the impression that both of you were very close, and Bob used to share certain of his feelings with you.
Yes, because you see, he didn't know anybody else beside me. He didn't have a father, you know. My father, which is his grandfather, was the closest to him, you know, as a man figure, you know. So we just very close, very, very.
In your family, were anyone in your family like musically inclined?
Oh yes, all of them. My father, my uncle, my older brother, my uncles, and most of them play music. Most of the family play music. And my father, he plays the organ, he plays guitar, he played the, what you call the one that you, accordion, yes, you know, and all that. Uncle Taklo, he played the violin, they call it the fiddle. And Uncle Jimmy, he played the guitar. And they are
So Bob is really from a musical family?
Yes, yes, yes.
So in those days, were he around while they were actually playing? I mean, were there any occasion that they were like jamming together as a kid? You used to listen to them? Or
You know, as children, music playing, they were running around listening and things like that, and having a good time too. Maybe not even thinking about what's going on, but it's like a special holiday when you hear music in the country, especially when they put on dance some Saturday night and Friday night.
Yes. So, what was it like in Jamaica in the 40s? What was Jamaica like? I mean, I know it wasn't like as developed as it is like now.
You see, in them days, you see, it's like, I'm in the country, you know, and mostly everything, the country always remained the same. We go a field every morning, you know, we go plant food, we look after the animals and things like that, you know, and we hear people talking about war and this, that, and the other, but now you're not too concerned, you know, you just do what you have to do. So, them time there is a long time, you know, and them time there I was young too, don't have too much experience of what's happening on the outside world, you know.
In terms of Bob Marley now, being in Kingston, you found him again. Did you leave and go back to the country, or did you stay in town for a while?
No, I took him home with me.
You took him home?
That's very nice.
All right.
I took him home with me that very night, and we went back home and just living in Jamaica, going back to school, and I take him right back to the school where he was going, and you know, from there now till I decide that I was going to leave Kingston now, and I mean country, and go to Kingston. And I told my father, you know, because I guess I'm getting a little more older now and want to know what's happening outside. So that was the time I decided and say I'm going to Kingston. And then my father said that you can go, but you have to leave, you know. And I said I'll be glad to, because I know I can't take him with me now. But since he is willing to take care of him, that's all right. And then when I get myself settled down, then I would go back for him. At that time, he did not want to let him come to me. He wanted to have him for himself. So
why everybody knew him was special?
You know,
well loved.
So, yes, very well loved, very well loved. And so I just decided, and I told him that, you know, he will be closer to me to go to school and things. So he didn't fight that. He allowed him to come to me. And then that was all. We stayed there, and then for a while.
In listening to Bob Marley's music, I find that a lot of phrases, a lot of proverbs are in his music. Things that I would hear my mother say. You know, rain or fall and the dirty tough.
Dirty tough and
so it's like, I know you are very integral part of some of the earlier teachings, because the kind of proverbs that him use is things that I hear my mother and my grandmother say, you know.
He always loved to hear me talk like that, you know.
Because they're real though, you know, people now cannot relate to it, because the way he put the lyrics together and use those same Jamaican proverbs is like, it's explaining something in a certain way that when you really check it out, it's for real.
It is for real. It is for real.
I know that earlier on he used to do a lot of gospel music, because I've heard a few like gospel recordings.
Yes, he used to sing, because you see, I used to be in the church, and I used to sing a lot there, you know. I always loved to sing, and we sing in the church. He learned some of them, you know, and things like that, and he have songs, he sing his own songs, you know, like he used to sing this one for me. I went in the garden alone while the dew still on the roses. I came home from school. That time I was in Kingston, and he came and he told me, he said, Mama, this song just rests on my mind, you know. And he heard it on the radio. And it was, oh gosh, what this singer man is called again, I forgot his name. But he was the one that was singing this song, and he told me how much it touched him. You know, when he came home the evening, and then he started singing for me. I went in the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and you know, it's like he was just spiritually touched, and I just sit here, and as a matter of fact, I was helping him singing it too, you know, along with him. And Bobby's just he's just born spiritual to be good, yes.
Yeah, we can feel
it. Yes.
You're watching CSN, the Caribbean Satellite Network, 24-hour Caribbean music power. We're celebrating with Bob Marley, his mother, his sons, his daughters, and his family, and you. Stay tuned.
But I didn't shoot no deputy. It's been a long...
And honored guest right here in our studios. This is Mrs. Cedella Marley Booker. You named one of Bob Marley's child after you, or did Bob name the child after you?
Bob named her.
Yeah.
His first daughter.
How many children are there? How many grandchildren you have from Bob?
9, really.
9.
Uh-huh.
And they're all in the music business?
Well, some, not all. Some, you know, every to each his own. Some in the music, and some in school, you know, and so on and so forth. But everybody's musical. Everybody loves music, yes.
So one of your grandsons is also a football player here in Miami?
Yes, that's Ron.
Uh-huh. So how did you get into the football business, man?
Because he loved it.
All right. So does any of your other grandchildren come and visit you from time to time?
Oh, yes, all the time. They come visit me. Ziggy was here, and Steve. Well, Steve spent a longer time because, you know, he's the one that producing my album now, and Ziggy played on it, and then he left and went home, and Ziggy stayed, and Steve stayed, and we finished up. So I'm preparing now to go down to Jamaica to get in the studio and to finish up, you know.
But you also have another album here. It's called Smiling Island of Song. And it features 14 great tracks. And you also have a video from this CD.
Yes.
Is this your very first video?
Yes, this is the very first video.
Yeah, I like it, and we're gonna be seeing a lot more of it. We're gonna see a little clip from it right now. Check this out.
There's a brown girl in the ring, tra-la-la-la-la. There's a brown girl in the ring, tra-la-la-la. There's a brown girl in the ring, tra-la-la-la-la. She likes sugar and I love plum. Show me emotion, tra-la-la-la-la. Show me emotion, tra-la-la-la-la. Show me emotion, tra-la-la-la-la. She likes sugar and I love plum. Right over river run dry. Got no place to wash my clothes. Right over river run dry. Got no place to wash my clothes.
You're working on a new album right now.
Yes, I am.
What's the title?
It's going to be called My Halter. That's, you know, I do a lot of praying, I pray, you know, my faith is where it rests. And my grandson, Steve, is my producer for the first time. And, you know, I'm very grateful and I'm very proud, you know, because like when he and I sitting there, you know, it's like just Bob just there with me. And certain desire have been fulfilled right there because Bob was to really write me some songs and different, you know, in the music because he wanted me to do this. And he was unable, but then at that time to use his own hands, but then it worked round that Steve was a little baby boy at that time and now he's a man, you know. And he grew up to be a man, and he's the one that producing me now. You can imagine how proud I feel.
Of course, of course.
Very proud. Yes.
So, Tough Gang, tell me a little bit more about Tough Gang, the label, the whole organization, because Tough Gang has been around for quite some time now.
Yes, it has been around, you know, and a lot of struggles going from the state and all that, and things maybe wasn't running the way it's supposed to, because like them said, too much rat never dig good hole. And especially this is a spiritual thing we're doing here. You know, it's not everybody understand the culture and know how to handle these things, so it get a lot of whipping, you know, but still you have some real outstanding people that really stand firm, and it's going on. And then the granddaughter now, she become of age now, you know, where she can take over and handle and see that things is running good. So
Which one is this?
Cedella. So I'm sure, you know, that things is going to build up quite good. You know, it's a struggle, but we know that.
So why did Bob name her after you?
Because she resembles me so much. he said, Mama, when I look in the baby face, she make my head raise, because when I look in her face, is your face I'm looking at, you know. And call her Cedella from there on, you know. Yes.
Bob Marley, have you ever toured with him on any of the tours that he has been on?
I never directly toured with him, but I visited the shows, you know, and then I moved to a few places, especially when he was in San Francisco. That was in California, and quite a few I've visited. And how I know, I have all the pass on my bag, and I visited 5, because I have 5 passes. Yes, so I never directly go out and tour with him, but for the little that I spend, you know, in the circle there, I know it's a very tough thing. It's not so easy touring, you know, it's rough, but when you have your work to do, you got to do it. But it's not really a flowery bed of rose, you know, when I saw what was going on, you know. It's a lot of ups and downs and pressure, but that's your work, and that's how it has to go. That's what makes it good today.
Do you think, this is a very serious question now, do you think Bob Marley was respected the way he should have been respected in his own country, Jamaica, like how you see the rest of the world respect Bob Marley?
Well, you know, as it is said, king don't have no honor in their own country, because he should be respected more, I would say.
Yeah, and
but,
I endorse that too.
Yes, but I would say, you know, you have come a mighty long way, and I'm glad for what has been done, you know, because even those that didn't respect him then respect him now.
They must.
So that made me feel good. And he got the respect what was due to him. He's getting it now.
And then there's a lot more to come.
And a lot more to come.
Because I've seen where in a lot of people all over the world have been honoring Bob Marley in many different ways.
Oh, yes. And then you see, when Bob was here, a lot of people didn't even know about him. But as time goes on, since Bob gone to Zion, as time goes on, more and more and more people are getting to know Bob, and the music is spreading farther and farther and farther. So this must go all over the world, then the end come. Because this is Jah work.
And Bob Marley's work is timeless, because whenever you pick up a Bob Marley and play, it's still relevant to what's happening.
Oh, yes,
right now.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like today. It's like today, every day. It could be 10, 12, 14, 15 years gone. And when you hear one of those songs, it's like today, just made. You know, everything is so spiritual and, you know, and so uplifting. And what can I say, you know, who Jah bless? No man curse.
Right. We're speaking to Bob Marley's mother, Mrs. Cedella Marley Booker, a very distinguished lady, a very special honored guest right here on CSN. A lot of people out there have never actually heard her speak on CSN, but here she is. And I'm really, truly grateful to have you here with us, because it's a very special moment in my life and the lives of everyone watching and listening to this program right now. We're celebrating the birth of Bob Marley with you, and I know you have a special lineup of concerts to come.
Yes.
You're going to kick off in Miami on the 26th of February,
yes,
1994. And it's going to be, what you told me earlier, it's going to be a free concert.
Yes, it will be a free concert to everyone. All we're asking is that everyone come in, just bring 2 cans of unperishable food, because this food will, you know, present it to the Kamala house, you know, and for the needy, you know, for the homeless. So that's what we ask. We ask of everyone to just bring two cans of whatever you can bring. If you want to bring 4, if you want to bring 10, it doesn't matter.
And where it's going to be held?
At the Bayfront Park.
Bayfront Park.
That's where it's going to be.
You got a lot of artists on that show?
Oh, yes. We have about...
performing too?
Yes, I will be performing too.
Of course.
Yes.
I will be there to check you out.
All right. Yes, indeed.
So who is from the family are going to be there?
Well, Ziggy will be there, and Steve, and Julian, and Damien, and Kimani, and Cindy and Damien.
Junior Gang.
Yes, Junior Gang. Yes.
I like that name too.
Yes, so a lot of us as the family will be there.
The Whalers?
But I think so. I think the Whalers will be there. But Ziggy, they are only going to perform in Miami. They won't be going on the rest of the tour.
Right. Yes. But that shows a lot of respect that they still have for you, though.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So you have great-grands, too?
5.
5?
Yes. I have 5 great-grand.
Who are these?
These are Bob's children, Bob's son. Ziggy have 2. And Steve have 2. And Robbie have 1. That's 5, and 1 is on the road for Rohan. Yes, and by January, I'll have another one, make it 6.
All right.
So I'm very blessed, you know.
And they all know who the father is, and the grandfather. And
oh, yes, and some of them don't know their grandfather, which is my father. No, that's the great-grand. They don't know their grandfather because, you know, unfortunately passed from so long, but still, you know, they have me. So that is a great, you know, a great lot for them to come up and see grandma. They don't see grandpa, but grandma is there, so. And she's the one that have to do the cooking and the wiping of the nose and the drying of the eyes and everything.
Yeah. And you want to send greetings to any of them right now?
Oh, yes, I can say hello to all of them out there right now. Cedella, Ziggy, Steve, Joseph, who is my heart. That's my little great-grand. Oh, he just loved me to death. And Stefan, he's the baby. He'll be like he's just 10 months, but very smart. And you have Robbie's baby. Her name is Callie. That's Robbie's. That's another one of Bob's son. And then Rowan one will be coming, and that will be, I don't know the name yet. Maybe if it's a boy, it's Rowan again.
All right. So y'all get your greetings and special requests from Mikey Jen, from CSN, and everyone watching. There are millions and millions of people watching this show, and we're trying to make sure we can come one-on-one with this very special lady. And I consider you as a role model for a lot of women out there who are really giving birth to children in a world like this. What is your message to the mothers out there, our mothers to be?
Just take good care of your children. Grow them up in the right way they should go. Teach them the right way. I mean, you know, it's not all going to take it. But you have to do your part as a parent. And don't just let's scare them or ignore them, because you never know. It could be the king, it could be the queen, you don't know who. So all we have to do, take good care of our children, and children are to obey their parents and just listen, especially in these days, because we are in a crucial time right now, and you know, it's dangerous on every side. So parents have to really, 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 really be close to them. Even they are big and grown, we still have to be so close to them and give them encouragement and strengthen them, because I mean, they are the stars at my crown. And just as it go for me, is for you or the other father or the other mother, just as parents all over. And we have to just take care of our children, grow them in the right way and teach them the right things. And, you know, just show them. Because we have to tell them the truth. And that's what we must do.